What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I am back with some more Age of Mythology, the Titans action, spawning in the left side of the map in the blue color, joining the traders that are playing Gaia as the flavor of the month. Abandoning Odin. His name is Yoshii, also known as Birdo, also known as Chisophilis. All these names apply to him. Now, he's opponent today in the red color. I actually don't know this guy. He's playing Set, and his name is jel4ni. Now, I do recall, and I'm probably butchering that name as well, I do recall a player of olden times, I'm talking like way back when, like you were all in diapers back then, who called himself jel4ni, and I believe he spelled it like this with a 4 as well. So I don't know if it's that guy or not, and he's back, or if it's just a fan who remembers him from way back then, or just a random smurf who feels like, you know, pretending to be someone else and potentially getting away with it, making it a little bit more believable. You never know. They're all a menace, if you ask me. Anyways, we've got the map for you, Ghost Lake. We've got a Set versus Gaia matchup. I actually think, like I've said this before, I think that Gaia is currently in a position where she is strong against nearly every single civilization, at least 50-50 with nearly every single civilization. There's just a couple of civilizations that completely bust through Gaia. Now, Set is arguably one of them in a weird way. So the idea being Anubites early, very difficult to deal with, and then combine that with the powerful timings with Horus and ancestors and all of that other good stuff that comes with Set. And beyond that, also the animal conversion, stealing away animals, bringing them to your base as Set, is really, really strong, because what Gaia players are simply doing of late is they're simply not going out and getting their hunt in favor of farming, and then because they don't have to defend their villages, as we're seeing a little bit of harassment over here by this hyena of Set, because they don't have to defend their villages, they can go all out on the raiding on your opponent's hunt. But with Set, you can bring the animals back home, so your villagers are all going to be nice and safe in that situation. It does require a lot of APM to get that all happening nicely, and also like quickly getting over there and converting them. And we do see a potential for that to happen in this game. We can see already the priest in the middle of the map going to be getting himself a polar bear. There is a polar bear down here as well that he could get. If he has both of these polar bears plus the priest, he could probably walk up to one citizen and actually push the said citizen off of the hunt. I think maybe close, not sure. It's 9 damage per second. No, it goes down to 3.15 damage per second. It's a lot less. Anyways, nonetheless, we're going to be seeing this game continuing, getting that temple coming up nice and fast for jel4ni. Might even be up fast enough. He actually skipped his monument, it seems, which is meaning he wants to advance really, really fast. He's probably going for a 4:15, but probably the temple a little bit late here. Going to be landing at a 4:30, it would seem, which, as you guys know, you could have a monument out and get up at 4:30 if you just simply get earlier villagers onto gold. But jel4ni just wants that 4:30. It's an old build. It's fine. It works. It's not like you're losing the game. You just have a little bit less favor than otherwise, as we are seeing that monument coming down right now. 10 villagers on gold, no villagers on wood, is indicating to me that we are going for a second town center here. So it's going to be a bit of a boomy game. Second town centers, I would not necessarily recommend this as a staple for Set. If you've got a really, really good second town center, which it doesn't actually look like jel4ni has here, I would say, yeah, go for it. But I think that the one town center plays here for Set against Gaia are going to give you potentially a better shot at dealing early damage. Though you can definitely play the 2 town center timing attack game as well, and try and take out the Gaia before their economy becomes outrageously strong. So, Yoshii here going up through Oceanus. A bit of a surprise here. We don't see Oceanus all too often, and it's seemingly looking like a very late Oceanus at that. And I would assume that he's got a lot of economic upgrades right now. Yeah, he's got hand axe, he's got pickaxe, he's getting himself channels, he's getting himself bow saw, so getting all of those nice Gaia technologies very, very fast, very, very early. jel4ni getting to the classical edge here through Ptah. And we'll see what Yoshi's going to do in response. Now, because he goes Oceanus, he could potentially throw a carnivore plant down onto this town center. But with the Pharaoh here, he's going to be able to kill that very, very fast. So it's not going to do as much damage as it would to, say, maybe like a Norse player or a Greek player trying to get their second town center up. But I'm surprised to see Oceanus, to be honest, because if you go Leto, you get access to the spider layers, but more importantly, you get access to this technology here, the volcanic forge. No, that's not it. What is it? What is it? The Hephaestus? No. Never mind, I'm thinking about the wrong game, apparently. I thought that this technology affected all units and gave them extra PS armor. I could be thinking about EE. I could be wrong. I might be wrong. I've been wrong before. I'll be wrong again. So you see counter barracks, military barracks coming down for Yoshii. He's going to want to put a little bit of pressure onto his opponent. He's actually deciding against building this as the town center comes up. And Yoshi's going to go, well, you got your town center. That means I can get my town center. As he's just going to be waiting on those resources as his bow storer is going to be coming through. Interested to see if he chooses to go shaft mine here or town center. It looks like he's going for the town center first. No real surprises. Look at this beautiful town center. 2 Aurochs behind it. Yummy, yummy, yummy. And he's actually going to get this up with 2 citizens as well. So it's going to shoot up fairly fast. The set player is going to have a slight economic advantage earlier because he rushed his town center up. Armory's coming up as well. Problem being that all of the hunt seemingly for jel4ni is all the way over here. It's very far from his base compared to Yoshii. Yoshii's base is incredibly good in terms of his resources. And basically here, jel4ni is going to have to ask the question, how is he going to hit any sort of 2 town center timings against this Gaia player if he doesn't get access to his hunt? Now, the answer for me would simply have been build another priest and just convert these bad boys and send them back home. But that's not what's happening here, as jel4ni is just going to be starting to get himself some barracks up, getting himself some spearmen out. There is a pretty wacky strategy you can try, which it's kind of just coming to my mind now as I'm watching this game. I wouldn't think of this in the moment, but as a response to a Gaia player responding to your second town center grab, you can actually try and go for some sort of villager shifting sands play off of 2 town centers with a whole handful of those spearmen, and you're going to hide those spearmen. As soon as that town center comes up, you can attack this one because it only got 2100 HP as opposed to EE. Because the town center is out in the open, you can actually get a whole bunch of damage done nice and early. So we're actually seeing Yoshii now get himself a third town center here, and the village is going to be picking off this hyena of set, going back onto their job there, and they might be. jel4ni might say, well, time to do something. Maybe not time to do something. He definitely should be considering getting onto this town center as soon as he can with these spearmen, because he should know if your opponent goes 3 town centers straight away, you know that they don't have any military units really out just yet. So you get a lot of value out of these units, as jel4ni is just going to be hanging back and not doing all too much. Still building himself those spearmen, a little bit of idle town center times. He's got 10 villages on the wood, trying to get himself some economic upgrades, I would assume. Getting himself the husbandry right away, and then maybe getting the pickaxe and shaft mine, pickaxe and shadoof and plow. Shaft mine maybe later, but it's kind of the order you want to get them in. As we're also seeing now, Yoshii moving forward being, I would say this is pretty greedy, going after your opponent's second or third hunt here. But this one here, it's so close to Yoshii's base. I'm genuinely surprised. We see the spearmen coming over onto this town center. Going to be checking this one out. Town center just about to pop here for Yoshii. And then we get to start the game, it would seem. The relics on the map, we can talk about this while the game is continuing. You've got the Canopic Jar of Imseti. This is actually really, really good for both players. 15% training time doesn't seem like a lot, but actually starts to build up later in the game, meaning you can get away with maybe a couple of less military barracks. If you forget, it's going to help you out quite a bit. We do see that shifting sands onto this position here. He's going to get a couple of citizen kills. We see a carnivora plant coming up here as jel4ni is trying to micro this one to the best of his ability to pick up this second citizen. This is 2 citizen kills for a shifting sands. Not bad at all. And now he just has to get out. He just got to get out. Don't lose any units. Just get out and live the dream. Maybe you can harass this, but maybe you just leave, because 2 citizen kills this early. I think if he'd tried to get this town center behind this, it would have been a half decent idea. We see this citizen coming over here now, mana coming up. Now, he did use shifting sand, so 2 citizen kills gives him another economic advantage in a way. He is against Gaia though, so I mean maybe he's just equalized after that, but as we do see him finding this this hunt over here nonetheless, and Yoshii just simply going to jump into that manor, sending his units over here. So the problem really for jel4ni now is what now? He's just picked off a couple of villages. He's downshifting sand, so we can't use that to make any wild or wacky plays in the mid game. So what now? He's going to continue building those spearmen, it seems. Like, classic fighting against Gaia actually seems like a really like decent idea here from jel4ni, just simply on the fact that Gaia does not have those speedy units to chase your slowish units. That, I mean, they're not really slow. 5.0 speed is actually pretty fast, but they don't have those speedy units to chase your units down like Uranus does. So classical fighting in this situation seems completely fine, as Yoshii's taking some very heavy losses right now, as he's retreating away from this big ball of units coming after Yoshii's food here, or jel4ni's food here. He can actually try and take down the mana now if he so chooses. There is a Carabal's here that could be getting a little bit of free damage done, though you might want to be a little bit careful with that one, as it is seemingly looking like Yoshii just says, oh, better retreat, sit back on my economy and see how we go. If we check out the economic upgrades now for Yoshii, he's got himself shaft mine, he's got himself bow saw, he's got himself quarry coming through at 10 minutes, 14 seconds into the game, so his economy is going to be absolutely skyrocketing as we see Yoshii throwing down the military barracks, going to be putting Gaia Lush onto the third town center. You hate to see it if you're a Gaia hater, and if you're a Gaia lover, oof, so annoying. And not only that, going to be throwing down the Carnivora here to delay this as well, throwing a mana down. This is so annoying, as Yoshii is just going to have so many buildings to throw up here, and he's got so many resources in the bank to do this, as we also see the barracks now under attack. The army here from Yoshii coming in to pick off these units, going to snipe the Pharaoh nice and early here. The Wadjet in the back getting targeted down by those hero Terma. Those slingers not microing onto the Terma well enough just yet, as they finally do start getting that big amounts of damage done there. Carabal's falls, and Yoshii has to pull back, but he's set up now, and this town center is not going to be getting grabbed anytime soon, it would seem. He has to pick off 3 military buildings here, or 2 military buildings and a manor, and the citizen can continue to build here. Yoshii's going to be going up to the heroic age very soon, I would assume, and jel4ni right now is hard stuck in the classical age, having to farm. He probably has got Shadoof and probably does have plow, but the food income is going to be so very slow here, and we'll see if he's going to be able to catch up to what Yoshii's going to be able to do here, as he's throwing more military buildings down behind here. But what god did Yoshii choose to go through to the heroic age is the question. Thea, Rhea, either or is completely fine here. More military buildings getting shot up by Yoshii, realizing that he's going to basically want to spam these units out incredibly fast here. Still no plow because he hasn't had to farm just yet. He's going to be having a couple more goats left. He's still got this hunt in the middle of the map that his mana has been picked off on, but he's back there eating that one. Whole bunch of villagers making their way over onto this gold mine. Does Yoshii know that gold mine exists? Yes, he does, but he's not going to be expecting the villagers to go there this early, because there's an extra gold mine in the base still waiting for that one. As another mana getting taken down here, the military barracks getting taken down. I actually think it would have been he actually has done this. I thought it'd be kind of annoying if you also get masons here, and Yoshii indeed has gotten masons, which is going to mean that the units are having to wait even longer to kill off the buildings and get the town center back. And then you also have to wait for the Gaia Lush to leave this hero, as Yoshii's units are starting to really pile out right now. But he's still only at 130 population, even though he's producing really nicely here. And it's seemingly looking like jel4ni is able to hold this position for the time being. Now, also, jel4ni is going to be able to spam these buildings really quickly. We do see this military barracks coming up for Yoshii, as he's trying to continue to deny this town center. We've got watchtowers now coming down for jel4ni. Yoshii actually decided to stay in the classical age here instead of going to the heroic age. Interesting decision, but it might work out for him now, as he's going to continue to try and put these military barracks down. I actually think it wouldn't be a bad idea to make this citizen into a hero citizen, because it makes him so much more stronger, and he's going to be able to hold this location off for and prevent jel4ni from getting this location under wraps for a very long time. And in fact, it doesn't matter, because he's winning the fight so hard because his economy is gigantic. Even though jel4ni's score is seemingly in front, I'm not sure. Well, that's why he's got 3,000 wood in the bank here, ladies and gentlemen. 3,000 wood is a lot of wood to have in the bank. I would say that maybe take those villagers off of wood, put them somewhere else, like say maybe food here would be well worth it. One of the few difficult things, or one of the many difficult things that happens when you play set, or not necessarily set, but any god, and when you get stuck in the classical age, is that you actually have to over food gather. You need to go up to like 35, 40 villages on food, way more than you expect. Because you just can't get that food economy in because you don't have irrigation. Once you get irrigation, you can take some of those villages off of food. But before that, it's very, very, very difficult to get everything you need because you're spamming villages from 2-3 town centers, and it can be tough. But Yoshii pushing in here, jel4ni trying to hold on to the best of his ability. We've got the farm starting to come down, flood control coming in at the 14-minute mark here for Yoshii, so his food economy is going to be huge. Throwing away a lot of units here, though. I'm a bit confused about why he's doing that, but he's taking his time back here. He's looking like he wants to grab this 4th town center for himself now. I don't hate this. Normally I would, but because jel4ni's missed macro quite badly, there's no real threat that a big push is going to be coming through from jel4ni anytime soon, though the net is coming, and he's got a lot of resources in the back. You potentially trade that wood for food. So you sell the wood, buy food, etc. We need to see Yoshii fixing those villages up. Seemingly they are idle, so he'll fix them up eventually. We're taking down these barracks first. jel4ni going to be looking to fight back here, and Yoshii is now able to advance, and he can do that whenever he likes. We do have some units now coming over onto this position over here, sending a handful of units there as well. Town center still not up. I actually think it would have been up had he had all those villages on there. There we go. Now he's moving them. They are coming through now for Yoshii. And so he is deciding to go through Thea. I think Thea is slightly better than Rhea in this matchup. Just on the fact that there's not really that many big ticket myth units to steal, but more importantly, getting those dryads out is going to be a really big deal because it forces priests to have to be in there, and the priests, they're not that good generally. You don't really want them. They cost too much population for what they do, and you need them for the dryads. If they don't, and you make the dryads, they make the priests, and then you don't make the dryads, and then they have the priests, and then you win the next fight or whatever. As the town center does manage to come up now for Yoshii. He is managing to push jel4ni back, who is defending as best as he possibly can. The villagers now retreating back home as the Murmillo chasing them all the way back home. He's got a lot of resources in the bank. Remember that. He's got so many, and he will be able to get to the Mythic Age here very, very quickly. Is his market going up somewhere? No market just yet that I see. I'm surprised to see that. He's got the resources to advance as he's trying to hold on to this position. More barracks coming up to try and get all of the military units coming out here. No upgrades coming through just yet. Yoshii is going through Thea, but that is the game there, as Yoshii does manage to push in and take jel4ni out here with his very, very brutally strong Gaia. Getting those early upgrades was so huge. Like, if we just take a look at the post game, this just tells the whole picture here. How do you compete with this? You are like, how many resources behind at this point? This is 15 minutes into the game, 2,500 to nearly 30,000. So it's 4,000 resources in front at this point, right? 4,000 equals all of these buildings plus more. So he just gets this all up, and it's just so tough to come back in this position here. I think, like, obviously jel4ni not having the food was a big mistake. He definitely needed to fight for that or something. He had the units out to deny this town center, wasted the shifting sands. Macro was poor. All of those things did matter here, but, you know, them be the breaks. If you guys enjoyed this game, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.